All right, guys, going live again. In today's live stream, we're going to be talking about how much financial risk you should be taking and, the age ranges on, how significant the amount of financial risk you are taking. So, for instance, I think we could start at 15 just because there's a bunch of people or where you see kids now and teens making millions or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, each year, whether it's on YouTube or TikTok. Maybe they went viral on TikTok. So there's people killing it at age 15. So that's why I start at 15. So I would say age 15 to age 30, you could take a lot of financial risks. Now, obviously, the further you get up in that age range, you need to be more careful on the stuff you invest in. But I would say for that first 10 years, 15 to 25, you could just, I'm not going to say invest in anything, but you could try multiple things. You can fail at a lot of things before you find what works for you. So, yeah, I would definitely say the financial risk that you take when you are, in that 15 to 25 age range should be a lot more than after 30. I would say after 30 is the time that you need to be protecting your money. You need to be focusing on slowly growing your money safely and then protecting the money you already have. You don't want to be getting into sketchy things after 30. Now, you can do that. It's not like a cut age where it's like, oh, 30, you can't take any more big risks. Probably up until 35, you can continue to uh, take big risks. But I would say once you start pushing 40, your end of your 30s, you need to be protecting your money because, I mean, let's be honest, people don't really live until 100 years old. I mean, the average, it's probably 80 years old where people are checking out. So, you're already at half of your lifespan. So you can't be taking crazy risks. You can't be getting into sketchy businesses and wasting time. At that point, you should have already built most of your wealth, and now it's just protecting it and growing it at a slow, safe rate and quality assets. But I think what the problem is for younger people, I would say 15 to 30. I think they get a lot of their advice from like the older folks, right? So, what's the generation before? Yo, what's up, man? About to hit the gym, but just wanted to stop by and say, keep killing it, bro. Thank you, Jalen. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I would say the problem between 15 to 30 is people don't take a lot of risk, right? They try to be conservative on what they do. And what I was saying was they get their advice from the generation before. It's the boomers. I was thinking about like what the generation was before millennials, or is it? Is it? I think it is the boomers. Yeah, and like their strategy is okay. Let's invest in like a 401k, or let's just save our money. And that's nice, but it's like you typically like don't. I wouldn't say you don't gain anything from investing in a 401k, but you're not going to get the returns that you want to get to live the lifestyle you want to live, right? Like now, I think most people that have a 401k or just like save or do like the Roth IRA, they only have like 200 to 300,000 at retirement. Now that's a good sizable amount of money. Like 200 to 300K is not anything to laugh at, but like once you're like let's say if you want to retire at 60, right? And I don't know. Like I want to retire like at 35, 40. 60 is too old to be retiring in my opinion because I said like you're going to be living like and maybe if you're lucky until 80, 85. So if you retire at 60, like think about all the I mean if you keep up with yourself, think about all the, you're going to run into some health issues even if you keep up with yourself. So it's not like you're not going to have any health problems. Your body's going to break down, and 300K is going to go by quick. Now, obviously, if you're careful on what you spend and you're able to, distribute that money appropriately each year, then maybe you could get by. But I think for most people, they want to be vacationing. They want to be doing some exciting stuff when they retire. I just don't think 300K, even invested like in an ETF, you're making 5%. Maybe you're making like bringing like 1,500 to 2,000 bucks each month, and maybe that's too much. So 1,500, and that's assuming if you don't have a mortgage. Like if you have a mortgage at that, like if your house is not paid off, you're probably paying like 2,000 worth of rent. So there goes that money that you are getting from that ETF or whatever you're invested in from that 300K. And it's like, okay, now what about medical expenses? What about food? What about everything else? So yeah, I say all that to say you need to be taking a lot of financial risk from 15 to 30 and try to do it in your earlier years, right? Like 15, try stuff out. Try different online businesses. Try trading. Try, the stock market. Try whatever, right? We have crypto now. So there's so many things you can try to figure out, okay, what works for me? Right? Just because somebody else is successful in something doesn't mean you're going to be successful in it. So you may have to try out 5, 6 different things before you figure out what works for you. And like I said, it's not really, when you're younger, you don't really have that much liability, right? You might be living at your parents. You might be, living with a friend, so you don't have kids and you don't have all this responsibility, so you can go ahead and take these risks. And that's where I think most people fall. Most people need to, take advantage of those younger years because, like I said, once you get 30, you throw a kid into that equation, you can't be taking those business, like trying to start up a business at 30. Not saying that it's impossible, because I know some people do it. All right, you could do it. It just makes it harder, right? And you want to make your journey a lot easier. You don't want to make your journey harder than what it needs to be. So, try to do all those things before you get into a relationship, before you have a kid, before you do all these things. Because once you throw all that into the equation, it's easy to push those things off to the side, and not not complete your goals, not take those risks, right? And also when you have those liabilities, and let's say you do take a risk, now it's way more like if you mess up, it hits a lot harder because now you have other people to feed. You have all these, again, it's all these responsibilities that you're responsible for. So, yeah, I would say the main message today would be take as much risk as you can in your earlier years. That's probably, the best thing to do. Again, 15 to 25 would probably be the best age range. You're pushing it once you get to, I wouldn't say you're pushing it. I just say the reason why, because 30 to 35, you're still young, but the reason why I say you're pushing it is because at that age, people want to start living their life, getting a house, getting into the kids and stuff and all that. So I'm not saying like 30, 35, you're still pretty young, but again, that's typically when people want to start their life. So, yeah. But that's all I had to say today. But yeah, financial risk is something you should be taking. You should be taking it in your earlier years and not in your 40s or 50s. I mean, if you do, just know there's a lot of things that can go wrong at that age range. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. I did a live yesterday. It was like 25, 30 minutes. Today, I actually have to go into the office tomorrow, so this is why I'm cutting this live short today. But I'll try to do one tomorrow. If not, I'll do one Friday. But yeah, see you guys in the next one.